Hi, I'm going to show you some common features we use in our Blackboard Collaborate sessions. This ought to get us started. Let's start first in the top left-hand corner of the screen, the Audio and Video panel. By clicking this downward pointing chevron, we minimize that panel, and by clicking again, we reopen it. This is useful, it gives us more space here. The other button, the Talk button, is necessary when you're asked to talk in a session. You want to turn that off when others are talking. It minimizes the background noise. The video, we'll turn that on and off when we're not using it. So when we're not using the Collaborate session, you might turn the video off. If you need more screen room to see these features here, which I'm going to go through in a second, you can left click and pull this window back and forth, and I suggest that you pull it about that far. And that'll give you plenty of room to see the whiteboard and to see who's chatting in the session. Well, let's talk about chatting. Here's a good place to have some feedback to me or to your other classmates while conversation's going on. So if you have something to say, a reaction, type your message here and hit enter. Now I can see the chat as it's going on, and this might be useful to me to give me feedback. If you want a quick way of getting feedback, that's what these buttons are for. Let's focus primarily on the first and fourth button. You might overview these. This gives a quick smiley face reaction, laugh out loud. And if I'm talking too fast, I think this can be particularly useful. Likewise, if you have something to say, this third button is raising your hand, and that might be a good way of gaining attention in a conversation so that I can call on you to speak. The final button that we'll use regularly is the polling question. I'll ask simple yes or no questions to start a conversation, like this one. Did you find the instructional video useful? Now by clicking the poll, yes or no, I'll ask the class to give feedback, and then I can share what the entire class said. Now there's only one answer here, but imagine the entire class responds to this question, and then we can start a conversation from there. Well, how would you do that? How would you start a conversation? Well, that's what these tools are for writing on the whiteboard. And probably the most common tool that you use is the text tool. You pull up the text tool by clicking on the icon, and you have to go over here to the right in order to activate it. You'll know it's activated because you'll get the A there. And where you place it on the screen is where your text will begin. So this might be followed by a list of other people writing simultaneously, brainstorming or writing their responses to a like question. Some other tools that we might use regularly is this tool here allows you to move things around. So if you're asked to moderate or move things around, this can be a useful tool that you'll use often. Or I might ask you to highlight the things that were most important to you. So there's the highlight marker. Change the color. So you can play around and get really creative with this. And I suggest you do that on your own time. Take 15 or 20 minutes to go ahead and play around with this tool. You'll find that these are common drawing tools. And here, this is a nifty chart tool that can give you all sorts of pre-designed graphics. So you might want to look at those and see how they work. Let me just show you this map and say that I wanted to do an icebreaker and have you place where you're from on the map. Well, I could use that map, and then you could put your check mark there, and then we can have a conversation where everybody's from. So this is just a few of the tools, but probably the ones we'll use most often. As we explore Collaborate in more detail, I'll get a chance to show you many more of the tools within the course. Thanks for joining me. I look forward to our next session.